excited about this morning. I've never been to the Chiricahuas.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hold on.
Hi, Don.
Morning,
Hi,
Don.
Don.
Looks like we scared a lot of people away last time, huh? Only
Holy
have
cow, yeah.
only have half as many pictures in here today as we did last week. All right, let's share the page here. Before we get going, I'll ask if there's any questions or anything anyone would like to share about the experience of shooting the splash stuff.
Questions. Best technique for keeping the wife happy when you're making a mess?
Um,
Good luck on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the neighbor.
I'm really the wrong guy to ask on that. I have no idea.
That's why it's all virtual.
That's right.
Wife can never complain.
No, I used a big tarp and a kiddie pool, so she was pretty okay with it.
Cool. Yeah, well, you know, dinner is always good. All right, we got David Hayden, and so we've got a picture by David Hayden here, but I don't see the picture, David. Is David here? Oh, it's all the way down here. I don't know how they got separated. Jorge's here.
Hello.
Welcome, Jorge. This is not a photograph. This is
No.
a render.
Yeah.
My favorite beer.
So, yeah, it's a render, but I mean, the blender, it just simulates like a room basically. So the way you set up the lighting is the same you would in real life. So once I made the cans, that was a whole nother process. So all that obviously I created myself, but the lighting's basically you have a like a panel of light in the front for lighting the front of the can, and it's pretty wide. I just kept stretching it until I got rid of the shadow lines in the center.
Good.
So you, huh?
Good.
Okay, so, and then on the side lighting, it's actually two smaller lights about, it's in the BTS, you see a yellow outline, but about twice the size of the side cans. And they're about, yeah. So this yellow square in the center, so that's a light. So they're to the side, lighting the side, and then also gives the highlights on the white can as well.
Got it.
And then as the water comes in, it casts shadows on the cans as well, which that was a surprise. I didn't think it would do that. So on the white can, you can see them where the highlights are towards the bottom of it. See this, so. And then the back there's actually a light pointing at the red background, so you can see that highlight. The first one I didn't have it, and it just looked really bland. So
Very cool. How long did it take you to do this?
shorter than I thought, actually. I mean, a lot of it is waiting for the computer to do all the calculations.
Yeah.
The top of the cans actually took the longest of any part, the tab and everything. And then the water, basically it simulates the water. So I just give it the parameters. I tell it the speed. I create the shape of the water source. And then it just calculates. So every time I change a number, I get a different splash out of it. So whenever I get one that I like, I just save that one, and then try again.
Nice. Yeah, because it's random, right? When the water comes out and hits it.
Yeah. Well, mathematically random. I think there's the way. Yeah. And then this is fairly low resolution actually, because I wasn't sure. I'm still learning all this. I did a higher res one, which I'll post tomorrow. It's midnight here. And completely different. So it's quite interesting though. Another thing is when you create the water, so you have to give it like an area, a volume. So there's like an invisible box that the water, when it hits that edge, it bounces back. So you can see it. So I cropped the photo just so it looks like the water's bouncing off the edge of the photo and back in.
It's really nicely done, my friend.
Thank you.
Question.
Yeah.
Is your texture map, is that originally vector and then converted to raster, or that's
On the
originally
cans?
raster? Yeah, on the cans. Yep.
I did it in Affinity Illustrator or whatever. Yeah, it's a vector, and then Facebook destroys everything you post up there. So
Or yeah, because it looks like a vector file. So okay, thanks.
yeah, so and then the cans get mapped, and I'm still figuring that out. It's a little slightly misaligned, but
Okay.
that's why I
Thanks.
was asking for Don quotes actually. On the back of the cans, there's a couple of your quotes plus one of your assignment lists from a long time ago. So if you're able to see the AR can I put in the P52 group, you
Yeah.
can see the backside of it. So,
Cool. I thought that was very clever, my friend.
thank you.
All right, who's next up here? I think it's Josh. Is Josh here?
Yep.
Hey, Josh, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
Awesome.
All right, so tell us about your, oh, you shot splash on a splash. There you
Yep.
go.
Seemed
Uh,
fitting.
Yeah, you got a nice little gradient going on here, a little bit bright behind the bottle, a little bit darker on the edges. This looks very good. Is that lighting or is that Photoshop? How are we doing that?
It's kind of both. It's lit from the back with the blue gel, and then it kind of fell off a little bit more toward the bottom, so I kind of brightened that up a little bit.
Right.
But it's like probably 95% lighting, and with just a little bit tweaking. But like the gradient was there, I just sort of enhanced it and evened it out a bit.
Very good. Quite good. It's a nice subtle effect, but it really makes the bottle pop, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I picked that too, because the yellow label kind of pops against the blue.
Yeah. Warm
But-
against cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Love it.
Thank you.
Let's look at you behind the scenes. I don't know if it's connected here. Oh, it is.
Oh, yes.
There's one way to keep the spouse happy.
Right. Plus the floor is cement, so that helps.
There you go. Now, did you do this in one shot, Josh, or two? Is this water coming
It's-
from one side or is it coming from both sides?
The water's coming from one side, but it's actually two shots because I had to light the label and the cap separately. Because the whole thing's backlit from behind with the blue gel. And then obviously the light doesn't get on the front. So I had to light the front and shoot that.
Got
And then
it.
I just put them together.
Nice. Nicely done. Have you ever done anything like this before?
A little bit. Like I took your tabletop class and we did
Right.
some splash and that too. So, I mean, I'm not a lot, but a little. It's very new for me.
Well, it's good work. It's a nice shot. Very
Thank you.
nice commercial shot. Absolutely. Are you a commercial shooter?
Not now, but that's kind of the direction I'm trying to head in.
There you go.
But
Yeah, very nice. There's definitely a shot for the book right there.
thank you.
What's really strong about it is we've got these lines here. You know, the composition is really, really nice. This is, leading up. This is kind of arcing down. It's just a strong, decent image, and I like that very much.
Thank you.
All right, very good.
Hi,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Hi, it's Patricia here. I was just wondering, I gave up dangling things, but because they seem to just keep moving, I was just wondering how you kept it still. Because I tried to dangle stuff to start off with for myself, but I just gave up. I think I had a very tenuous
You're talking about the,
string thing. Yeah,
talking about hanging this thing down.
yeah, exactly.
One of the things is if you use like really thin wire, like fishing line and stuff tends to move, right?
Yeah, that was what I was finding.
But in actuality, you could have a great big piece of PVC pipe going behind this thing, because cutting out the PVC pipe is easy, right? If you look at this bottle, you could have had something, you know, like a piece of wood or something taped to the back behind the label, and all you'd have to do is just slice the wood right down along the bottle, and it's gone.
Okay, I think that's kind of where I'm
Yeah,
struggling a little bit at the
yeah.
moment.
If
Okay, thanks.
if you're going to dangle something with line, it's tedious, and there should be a reason that you're doing it. You know, there's got to be a reason why you're doing that instead of putting it on a you know, a stick or a piece of PVC or something. So everything is driven by exactly what you need. And you know what? It could be cool if it did move too. I mean, that could be kind of cool too. So sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I mean,
Dawn, I
when I
saw,
did that, it did move around when you hit it with the water. But lining it back up with the label wasn't that big of a deal because it didn't move that much. It was just a little bit. I mean, I could have used something stiffer so it didn't move and it probably would have been easier, but like you can make it work if you have to.
Right, okay, thanks.
Dawn, I saw a video where a man used an acrylic rod. That way it's clear. And he said it was a little easier to Photoshop out.
Yep. Yep.
Ooh, that's
You
a
can
good
get-
idea.
Yeah. And little flat pieces of like display plastic, you know. Gosh, there's all kinds of where you can go to Home Depot and just get little flat pieces of clear plastic. You know, that's sturdy. You can use that as well. And if you do use a fishing line because you need something, there's nothing wrong with taking a fishing line, reinforcing the bottom half of it or part of it with something a little bit bigger if you can take that out. So yeah, all kinds of ways to do it. And with Photoshop, we can definitely clear things out. Good.
Hey,
Giannis.
Don, one more question.
Sure.
I just, the white of the cap looks a little gray to me, Josh. Am I seeing this wrong?
No, it is gray. It was gray on the bottle. It's not actually white. It's semi-translucent.
Okay.
So it's not like a bright white cap. It's like one of those little translucent ones. And it's just not white on the bottle.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Good. I love the questions, guys. And I do not know why these images are so far apart from each other. How strange. All right, Giannis.
Hello, Don.
Three blended images, huh?
Yes.
So we got, is the jar itself an image? What are your three images?
One image is for the bottle. The one is for the left splash, and the one is for the right splash. And then blended them together.
Okay.
How?
Beautiful. How did you get this silky smooth look?
That's it. That's not a color. It's a flower with water and colored water. It's a red one. And I mixed them together and came up with this thing like paint.
It's
and it was,
water?
Yeah, water with flour.
Oh, with flour.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like a thick,
Yeah,
like a
because paint it was very expensive to buy, and it's very dangerous for the flashes and camera. It's totally a mess. And this one is, it's wipes out very easily.
what was your mixture, if you don't mind me asking, of flour? How much? flour?
Actually, in 1 kilogram flour, I put inside 3/4 of the 1 kilogram and pour water until I saw it was like the paint, like the nail polish.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, just had a
And
little texture to it.
I had a bottle with a red color, exactly like the nail polish. I haven't done any Photoshop coloring here. It's just the same color. It was about €3, I think, that bottle. I pour it all together inside the flour with water and came out this red, solid red color.
Looks great, man. What a
This is
great idea. I've never heard of doing that. I've never thought of doing that. So we've all learned something new. Wonderful.
Yeah, I was thinking, how can I get that? The color costs too much, about 70, €80. And I thought, okay, I can give €80 to buy that. But the dangers of painting lights and walls and everything else, it's
No,
a mess.
no.
And I thought, why I can't try that with flour first, see how
I had no idea.
that thing comes up. Yes.
No idea flour would do that. Nice shot. Let's see behind the scenes here.
It's
a
like a
mess.
gravy. It's like making a colored gravy.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's just like getting in the kitchen, ladies, and just making a roux.
Yeah, here is a mess. It's a total mess.
what was the color you added to it, Giannis? Was it like a
Yeah, but
food color?
the brand? You mean the brand one?
just food coloring or
I'm sorry, didn't hear you.
food coloring?
No. It was watercolor from that the painters uses, for drawing.
Oh, watercolor.
Yeah, watercolor, and it's called Color Looks, something like that. The brand one. It's a watercolor. It's not food coloring.
Nice.
It's about 100 ml, something like that.
Nice. Well, we've all learned something there.
Yeah.
Well, some of us did. Mildred knew already. She just was making gravy. So very nice. Very nice. That was
Thank you,
Mildred,
Doc.
right? Who was that? Was that Marjorie or Mildred that said that?
I think we both did, but yeah, Mildred said, yeah, it's just like making gravy, just like
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
Making gravy. All righty. Looks like Rainey Mills is up. Hi, Rainey. How are you? That's
Hi, Don. I'm doing well.
whole splash. Wow.
Thank you. It was the like 9,000th try.
Well, yeah.
I did several versions and I had the speed light problem there for a minute. And then after I figured that out, it was just a matter of getting the right angle of the splash.
So what was the speed light problem that you had?
Well, it was the strobe problem because I bought those strobes and I thought those
Oh.
would work and I like made a million and I'm like, okay, it's just not clear enough. It's not working. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
Got it.
And so then I switched back to the speed light and I was like, okay, everything is fixed now.
Yeah, you those little cheap lights are great, but you can't expect a $100 light to give you the same performance as a $700 light. So those things are fantastic for food or anything static, but they're not going to work for splashes. Yep, speed lights.
Oh, so it ended up being the backlight. So
Oh yeah, it works great for a backlight. Yeah,
yeah, so
that's right.
once I figured it all out, I think I did like 3 or 4 days that I spent, in throwing things and making a mess and
Well, how fun, because this really ended up being very clever. Very clever. I like this. These. How many shots is this?
That is 3 shots, one for the bottle, and then one for the splash that's behind, and then one for the splash that's on the bottom.
Okay.
And I had it stuck, I had a like a dowel rod glued to the back, like hot glued to the back, and I had it stuck in that floral foam so that it wouldn't move.
Right.
And I just threw the coffee. It was coffee with heavy cream to make it that creamy texture. And then I just threw it from every different direction that I could imagine.
Yeah, well, you got one that worked, so that's what matters.
Yes, yes. So, you know, slowly working on the portfolio. So
Good. Let's look at your behind the scenes here. Try this. Does this work? Is that you? Yeah.
that is me.
All right.
Yeah. And see, I got my little turkey baster in there so I can like pull the liquid back out and reuse it. And
Smart.
Are you spraying it with the turkey baster?
no, I tried that and it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I was sucking it out and then putting it in a little cup, like a little plastic cup. And I
Okay.
could like squeeze the sides up to get different shapes to the way that the splash was coming out of the cup.
Very cool. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
So well done.
Yeah, like I said, it was a lot of work, and I had another one that was it was on a black background, but I put it in the group and everybody decided that this one was the best shot, so that's what I used.
That's what the group's for.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kevin, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Don.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Nice. This looks like 2 shots. Am I correct?
No, this is one.
Just one?
Just one. Yep.
Oh, cool.
So
All right. How did you get the water to splash like this? I've not seen a splash like this. It's like they're all like little jumbled pieces of ice or crystal or something.
because this was shot in an aquarium, and I poured water onto it, and that's the water actually coming down.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. So
Yeah.
you jumped ahead. That's assignment 5.
Oh, well, you know
That's
what?
all right.
The video was in assignment 2, so that's where I got the idea from.
Yep. Not a problem. Works really well.
So I did.
I knew there was
tried-
something bizarre going on here because that's
Yeah.
not.
No, I tried to do what Rain did, and I couldn't get it to work. I was just by myself, and I needed somebody to help me throw the stuff onto the product, and it wasn't working. So this was plan 2.
Yeah. This is for those of you who are wondering what it is. It's actually upside down.
Right, you'll see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's hanging down into a.
There you go.
This is one of the shots coming up to do this. It's really a fun thing. And then you no matter, you can shove it down into the water, and the air will spread back from it. Then you turn it up and it looks like it's shooting through air with water spilling back. It's a very clever thing.
Right.
Yeah, very nice. Really nice.
What size
Good
tank
shot.
is that?
Say it again.
What size is that aquarium? How many gallons?
I think it's a 10-gallon.
Did that black, well, I mean, it's in black. Okay, because I have one, but because it has the black rim around it.
Yeah, I've got mine's got a black rim. You just crop that out.
Okay.
And then I extended the canvas as well,
Okay.
because it was cropped really close to the top of the bottle. So I just, in Photoshop, that's easy.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Very nice.
Uh-huh.
Nicely done, Kevin.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your lighting now.
Okay,
got-
so,
Speed
I've
light on
got-
this side. You got 2 speed lights on each side?
right, 2 speed lights on each side, and then I have the green filter on the one and a blue filter on the other. So I wanted to try to pick up the blue in the bottle. So I'm not
Well, what you ended
100%
up
sure.
what you ended up doing, interestingly enough, is that the blue caught the water
Caught the water, right?
and the green caught the surface of the water.
Right.
Very, very interesting. The water, by the way, since you're hitting the water at an angle with the speed lights, the water turns into a semi-transparent softbox. So
Yeah,
that's
I thought about putting a scrim in front of them, and I said, you know what, that water's gonna, the
water's
light's
going
gonna
to
go through the water, so
yeah.
it probably doesn't need it.
It's a different look, whether it's exactly what you want or not.
Right. But it was a lot, it was a lot of fun. And then I'm setting it up and I dropped the bottle and of course the top broke. So I had to go back to the store and they didn't have the exact one, but they had, the top was the same color. So I just bought that and swapped the tops out.
Yeah. Nicely done, man. Cool shot.
Thank you.
Cool shot. David Hayden. David, are you there?
He said he wouldn't be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see it up there. I wish it's hard it's hard to critique a shot when the person isn't here because I want to find out what they were thinking of and what they did. There's not a behind the scenes shot for it. So, okay. It looks like a ultimate splash shot. I don't know if it's sitting on the ground or if it's mounted on something. See some dark shadow or something down here. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's more bottle. That's probably more bottle underneath the splashes. What's interesting is some of the water is very sharp in focus and some of the water is a little soft and it really gives a dimensionality to the picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool, David. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Would be, let's see what happens if I hit next then. Next is Carl Moore.
Hey, Don.
Hi, Carl. Wow, what is that? What are those round things? Lemons or grapefruit or
Oh,
something?
they're mandarin oranges.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this drink is basically like a Macan, which is like a Japanese orange. So it's basically a mandarin orange. So I was trying to like match the product with what it's made out of, I guess.
Okay. Fine. And what is this picture?
Oh, and then it's
A little bit alternate shot.
yeah, I was trying to decide between these two. They're almost exactly the same. I did them both the same way too, because they're both two photo composites, one with like the splash on the bottom and the splash on the top was a separate photo.
There's something about this. I like this. The can is not lit well, so I don't have a good feeling on the can, but I really do like the way you've lit this. There's something about, not this shot, sorry, that's your behind the scenes. There's something about this that I like, this burned out, blown out background. It's kind of it's kind of fun. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
I think the exposure was a little bit higher on that one.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like you have any bounce cards in front.
Yeah, there's nothing in front.
Yeah. And if you put a bounce card, like here's your stuff and your can and your camera's coming in. We're looking down from the top. Your camera's coming in. All your lights coming from the back, right?
Yeah.
One white card there would light up and give you a nice highlight down your can.
Okay.
Then it would feel like the can was the hero. It's not bad. It's a great, this is the first time you've done something like this, right? So,
Actually, I've been using this. I actually really like the lighting setup. I've been using this lighting setup all week, but I think, yeah, I could light it more from I don't know. For some reason, I was just liking the look of like the shadowy in the front. I don't know why I like it right now, but.
well, it looks great on the oranges, but on a product,
yeah, I should bring more light onto the front.
on the oranges. If you're just shooting the oranges, I think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
I think the reason I was liking it is just because I haven't seen it used very much. But yeah, I could see. I'll try it both ways. I should experiment. Like part of the reason I'm doing this is to experiment with more styles of lighting. So I definitely want to try more things.
Good. Very good, man. There's your, okay. Oh, you've actually got black cards on the right, on the sides.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This
Oh, is this a continuous light that I see, or is that a strobe?
no, there's speed lights. The
Speed
behind the scenes is actually slightly fake because the flash on the left, I couldn't see it with the other card. The cards are actually the same height. So I switched it with like a shorter card just so you could see the
Okay.
behind the scenes better.
Okay. Okay. So you really are forcing all the light from the back, getting that
Yeah, it's
poppy.
backlit. It's like 100% backlit.
Yeah.
And then in Photoshop, I have this preset that I like, but it brings up, it's like, it boosts the shadows a lot.
Mhm.
So it's actually too backlit in camera. And then I think in my opinion, the preset makes it so it's not like overwhelmingly backlit.
Yeah.
Because it just boosts the shadows. Like, so it basically takes out shadows from photos.
Cool. Yeah. Well, even if even if you just put a tiny strip of white next to the camera to get a little highlight along this and to get some more light back into this can,
Yeah.
you could always take, if that strip gives you too much light on the oranges, right?
Yeah.
Take that can and put it in on top of this. You'll have to do some stuff with the bubbles, but put that lit can on top of this not lit can, rearrange, cut out your water here, and then you'd have a better looking product shot.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Very good, sir.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Luke.
Yes, I'm here. Excuse me.
Yeah. Is this water hitting from the back? Like
Yeah.
right at the back?
Back where, yes.
Very cool. Is it one shot, multiple shots? What are we doing here?
One shot for the flacon and the label, and the 1, 2, 3 splashes and pieces of splashes for the hiding the feeds for where the birds.
It's holding
They're holding the flacon.
Got it. The bottle looks really good. This is good lighting for, see your lighting shows up the design elements of the bottle. And that's really important. We've got these little ribs down the side. It's really important. Remember, somebody spent a lot of time designing these containers. We want to see them. Let's look at you behind the scenes.
This is the behind the scenes for the bottle, for the flacon. And for the speed lights, I changed the soft boxes with speed lights.
Oh, okay.
I have one speed light on top between the wood and the white card for the lighting the label.
What was the power on your speed lights? Because you just really nailed this very short duration here.
132. 132. I wrote it in the behind the scene. There's two setups, one with the flacon with the label, and you see more that one.
Yeah. Really well done. Well thought out.
Thank you.
Really well thought out. Yeah. A couple of the splash shooters like Greg. I don't know if Greg's here. Greg, are you here? Greg? I don't see his name. Greg will generally shoot the bottle perfectly, shoot the bottle in position before it's wet so that he can go back and piece it together. Because like if you have a splash and the splash goes over the axe here, that's a problem. We can't hide the label with the splash. We can hide other things, but we can't hide the label. So it's always nice to have those extra shots. Well done, sir. Well thought out. I like your I really like the rim light on that we're
Yeah.
getting all the way around these splashes. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, solid. Judy.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
This is now, is this water?
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool. And it's how many shots? How many total shots?
This is actually just one shot, just probably about the 400th one, but it's one shot. But early in the week, I used the same product and I set it up the same way. And I had 3 different shots I was going to put together, but I had the product on a boom arm. And when I tried removing that in Photoshop, it just would not come out clean.
Now, was it because it was the edge wasn't clean enough to cut?
I guess it's that top, see the ridges up at the top of the product?
Uh-huh.
That's Photoshop kept picking that up and then smearing it. So I just gave up on that. And before that, I even got to that point, I was having trouble with Photoshop. It wouldn't open. I kept getting a dialog box that said that the scratch disk was full. So that was another issue to deal with. So yesterday, I finally decided that idea with the boom arm was going to have to go. And I ended up using a chopstick, a stiff chopstick, and hooking it, taping it with gaffer's tape coming out of the bottom. And fortunately, the water covered it up. There was just a little brown, and I was able to use this spot healing tool to just click out that brown. So that worked better.
Cool, cool. Cool. I like your background, a little bit of gradient. Did you do that in Photoshop? Did you do that in?
It was actually a little, oh no, not in Photoshop at all. I did everything in Lightroom for this one. The background, I put a red gel behind the scrim, and most of it just wasn't coming out real cleanly for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just a vignette.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Well, vignette will work. Yeah.
B10.
Yeah. I like how the blue is being reflected back over here.
I think that's if you look at the behind the scenes, I think it's that blue tub that the
Blue
red
down here,
cup is
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice that it's the same color blue though.
Yeah. Yeah. I kept thinking it was the blue from that too, but then when I looked at behind the scenes of that, it's probably that.
Yep. Nice. Look at that set. Very nice set.
Thank you.
What lens did you use for this, Judy?
The Fuji 55 to 200, and I shot it at 85.
And what is the what's your power durations on your
132.
32?
There was 3 speed lights, yeah, right, left, and one behind the scrim.
Yeah, because you really froze it
Yeah,
beautifully. ISO what?
800.
ISO
I had it
800.
at f11 because I wanted to make sure that the lettering was sharp, and I think I did get that.
Nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Well done. Neat
Thank you.
shot. Neat shot.
Thanks.
Yeah. Mark Shaw. Boy, this Axe stuff is really getting a workout today.
Popular brand.
Yes, sir. So we were talking, this has nothing to do with splash shots, but it might give you an idea of, well, what the business is like. We were talking about a point of purchase display shot that a photographer had done for Starbucks. So when you walk in, they're on those panels, right, on those stands. So it's a pretty good size poster. And it was an international poster that was printed. How many Starbucks do you think there are in the world? Anybody want to guess?
No idea.
8,000.
How many?
20,000. 20,000.
I said
32
6,000.
32,600 and change. So when they printed these things, they had to have 2 per store. And they have 2 stands per store, and they have 2 cards per stand, one on the front, one on the back, right? That's a print run of 140 plus thousand boards, 2.5 by or 2 feet by 3 foot boards to go in Starbucks. I mean, just think of the numbers. Now think of the licensing fee. Whatever the photographer charged for the image was dwarfed by the licensing thing. So the shot was maybe she gets a couple of grand, 3, 4, 5,000 for the shot, but I'll bet you the licensing was another 50, 60 grand. Just for
You better
that.
hope she didn't make any mistakes of that.
Well, you never make mistakes when you're working. Yeah, it's with Starbucks. You're working with the art director. They're approving everything.
600, how many? 150,000.
I mean, it was like I can't even imagine what the printing cost on something like that was. All right, so Mark, are you doing 2 splashes here? Like, how are you getting the one at the bottom?
It's a 3-shot composite, and yes, I did. I shot the bottle separate, and then I got 1 splash for each, 1 shot for each splash.
And how many did you say?
3.
3. Cool.
Now, mind you, I was having a hell of a lot of fun. These are the 3 best, or the 2 best splashes.
This is water pouring from above.
Yeah, I just used a little measuring cup for that. That's all. And that's the best shot I got pouring from above. And then I just stuck a big white card to stop the thing from spraying too much. And then I just went full on nuts, just throwing water at it. That's how you got the bottom shot.
You have ISO 64 on a D810?
Yep, that's the native ISO for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
But mind you, I can take it down. I have taken it down to ISO 32 and less.
Wow. I did not realize that. I just bought 3 rolls of film that are ISO 12. 3 rolls of black and white film, ISO 12. That'll be interesting. This is great, man. Really nice. And what was the power on your speed lights?
I switched from a strobe to a speed light because I didn't like the results I was getting with the strobe. The speed light, it was just 1 speed light, and I was using half power.
Okay.
There's a little Yongnuo speed light.
Nice. Half power?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's just a little soft right on the edges here.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks, Don.
Cool shot, man.
You can see my measuring cup there.
And you just dripping and tossing it right onto this thing here over the kiddie pool. Good job.
Yeah.
How many different shots did you do, Mark? Before you got what you wanted?
Before I got what I wanted, I used to shoot the bottle separately. The only thing I did was I used dark field lighting with a couple of white cards to highlight the label.
Right.
Which I'm not showing there. But yeah, that was about the only thing different. And then once I had the bottle shot, that's when I tried a couple of splashes with using the original setup, and then I thought, no, this ain't working. So I just put that big white card up to stop the spray from going over it onto the treadmill, and then I just started throwing. You can see my little water jug there to the right, and I just started having fun.
Cool. Nice.
Thanks. One of those rare times when I can do that without getting in trouble with the wife.
Good. Well, maybe we'll go outside when it gets better. Nice.
Yep.
Rick Matkowski, we just looked at his behind the scenes, which is really interesting. We're going to ask him about that. So you took the same deal that Kevin did. You actually stuck it down in the water.
I did, yeah. It was a busy week, John, so I admit I got a little lazy as far as making a big mess. So I went this route just to get it done relatively quick. I wanted to participate without making, I just didn't have a lot of time to clean up mess. So
Yeah, really, really nice lighting on this. I take it, since we already sneaked over and saw your I take it this is the snoot.
yeah.
It's a long handmade snoot there. Just to get right on that label.
Yeah. And this
You got this one. Is this a grid that's we've got on the front?
Yeah, that's a homemade grid. I made that years ago and it works wonderfully. It's a beer koozie inverted, so the black on the outside, and then a plastic straw.
Yeah.
Cut it about half an inch or whatever, a bunch of them glued together in there to give you the, I don't know what that would be, probably a 10 degree maybe.
I was yeah, with the straws, it is 10 to 15 degrees about max.
Yeah.
This is the old Storbist one.
Yeah. That's probably right. Yeah. It works. It works.
Yeah, it works great. Works great. Look how nice it works here. Really,
Yeah.
really nice.
Afterwards, when I was editing this, it might have been handy to have one more light. You see, I don't mind it, but the bottle fades into black right there on the neck. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, but
it's that dark, moody shot, right? Is what
I was just gonna say, this shot is sexy. It's got the bubbles and the very mysterious light everywhere. I'm okay with it. And actually we probably I wouldn't have said use a light. I would have stuck a piece of aluminum foil or something white plastic in the water.
Yeah.
Like down there.
Down there, yeah.
And then don't make sure you're not hitting it directly with any light. I don't think you would be, but it would just get just enough spill off these two lights to put a little.
Yeah, that's a good idea if you wanted the edge. Yeah.
Yep, just a little bit of an edge there. Nice.
All right, Don, I got to pick your brains here and maybe the rest of the game.
Oh, you might be very disappointed.
And I did a little research post. You add the tap water, fine. You squeegee off the bubbles on the sides, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But invariably, you don't get it all. There was bubbles on this product. And then what I found is, the various pours I did with just a little bit of water to get the bubbling, take a few shots. When each pour results in more entrapped bubbles in the water, to the point when it was all said and done, I mean, the sides of the tank were covered.
Just covered in bubbles.
Yeah, the little research I did, people talk about boiling the tap water first, which makes sense, letting it cool down.
Mm-hmm.
And then adding a drop of, I presume like dish soap or something. I think I'll also have added salt to the water. Again, all of that to keep, it's all about.
The only thing I've heard of is fabric softener.
Fabric softener, like a drop of that to the water.
Just a couple of drops of that to the water. That's the only thing. I think dish soap might be you start pouring water, you're going to start getting suds.
Well, and they talk about that, but the suds tend to stay at the top.
Okay.
So they're out of shot. But effectively, what you're trying to do is change the bonding, what's going on in the tank, so that those air bubbles, CO2, oxygen, accumulate and come to the top and don't stick on surfaces. Because that, even this bottle itself, in time, it was just like it had been attacked by some aliens. I mean, there's little tiny bubbles there.
I haven't had that happen to me. I'm trying to think. I have used those rubber squeegees so that you can reach down in the tank and squeegee the inside of the tank.
Yeah, which I did. But
yeah, because the stuff would form there. I haven't had it form on the bottle too much, but I can sure see how that could be an issue. Yeah.
People talk about too the hardness of your water. Hard water versus softer water can make a difference in terms of how much CO2 is entrapped, these bubbles.
Yeah, and once they get stuck on that unit there, they could end up being there for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I mean,
Yeah.
and then if they're there for editing, you wouldn't believe, I mean, I took a lot of them out of here, but that takes a lot of editing time, right?
What did you use to take them out?
Just in Photoshop, and a lot of it was everything from spot healing to mixer brush.
Yeah.
In post.
Did you try the frequency separation?
Yep. That's how I handled the cap. 'Cause
Got
that cap was covered, and I had to bring some texture back in. I probably went overboard, so I cheated a little bit. I brought some texture back into that cap, again using
Sure.
frequency separation.
I wonder what would happen. I have no idea this, so this is not my scientific brain. I told you you'd be disappointed. I'm just wondering what would have happened if you had waxed the Brute bottle before you put it in there. I wonder if that would have.
Yeah, good point. I mean, that's some things to try. You want to change that surface tension, right? So the bubbles don't come off.
Yeah, you know,
It's
and
wet.
I'm going to sound like an advertisement here, and I don't mean to. I don't know if you guys see this ever advertised in your Facebook feed, this Next Gen.
Yeah.
It's ceramic wax. This is a ceramic soap. When I wash my car with this, I've never seen my car look that shiny, ever. And if I set this on the hood, it just rolls right off the hood. But this ceramic wax, not the soap, but the wax, the Next Gen wax, put as a layer of ceramic, I bet that may make a difference because it gives it such an incredible nothing stays on it. Like if you spread water on my car, it just rolls off.
Yeah, the difference here though is this is CO2 and oxygen in the water. So you're talking about gases and whether they are attracted.
Right.
You know, it all gets, sorry, this is the engineer coming out in me.
Yeah.
That's
We
my
just
bad.
have to, just have to see it. Well,
You have to try it.
boiling it might be an effective way too.
Boiling it will work. I mean, that drives off gas. Boiling it, and then if you get somewhere for it to cool off in a low pressure environment, I don't know what it'd have around the house, but at least boiling it will drive a lot of gases out of the water.
What
Would
about
using distilled water versus
I was just going to
regular water
ask
make a
about
difference?
distilled water. Yeah.
Well, distilled water has got the hardness removed, right?
I think so.
It still doesn't relate to entrapped gases, though. You know, once you pour it into a tank, you're incorporating oxygen, CO2. Again, all these things you'd have to try. I've never tried it, but I'm just.
But can you just take do a clean shot of the bottle and then you take the second shot?
You can, but I thought about that, but when you look at the bubble action now, handle that post is holy moly.
Yeah, be
a
6
lot of
one, half
bubbles.
dozen the other. You're going to end up,
That's a ton of work. So I think the trick isn't fine, and this is all I'm bringing it up for. Especially you said class 5. We're going to get into this a little bit more. So
yeah,
people haven't done this. It's worthwhile talking about it now in preparation and trying. I know I'll try it next time around because this was disappointing at all those because more times you introduce air into that water, the more those little very tiny bubbles are all over your product, all over the side of the tank, and it's an editing nightmare then.
yeah. Well, I'll check with Greg and let's explore this so we have some answers before we get to this part of the assignment.
It'd be handy to know.
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you, Don.
And we've got Patricia.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself.
Oh, you got a little splash
Okay.
of water hitting it back there. That's nice.
Yeah. I tried to do the bottle first,
Uh-huh.
but even that I ran into some problems. I was using continuous lights behind, but rather than having the white background, I thought I'd try and do the dark field
Yep, dark
background and
field
some of
lighting.
the light
Yeah.
and have some of the light coming in on the bottle for a change from last week. but I did notice that I had to put in a card to get the name of the product lit up.
Well, it looks like you did pretty well.
Yeah, but the problem was then the gold kind of stripe at the above below the black top thing got very blown out, so I had to Photoshop in a bit of gold from another shot. So
Yeah, if it's too blown out, or you have to then keep cutting your card down so it only goes up to here. But
no,
you-
that was
but
I had a giant big card.
Well, getting this gold looks
That was
very good.
probably the problem then.
Yeah, the gold looks really good. So good job on that, cutting
Yeah,
it.
but I had to, as I say, I had to take it from another shot to make it work. So yeah, as I say, there was a lot of little challenges along the way.
You'll find that most of the, if you're looking in magazines and you see the Maybellines and those things, I'll bet you those are 5 to 10 shots put together. Even on lipsticks, they can take this and put it there and do all kinds of stuff. What's your spray? Is water coming from a straw or a little thin?
I had two things kind of on the go. There's a couple of shots there to get the spray. One of them was like a ketchup bottle, and the other one was a bigger bottle with I just punched a hole in it to try and get a bigger spray. But I think mostly it was the ketchup kind of bottle. Was a couple of shots from that just coming in from behind. But the thing is, I had intended really keeping with the continuous lights because I hadn't really got it flashed down. But I ended up having to use my just little pop-up on camera flash to get the water because I didn't have enough light to get a high shutter speed to freeze the water with the lights that I had. So yeah, it was all
You'd
a
have to
bit.
move your ISO so far high.
Yeah. So there was a few challenges, but I got something sort of reasonable at the end.
Cool. Good job on what you did here.
I thought the bit on the right was a bit too white.
This is your. Now say it again. What was too bright?
I thought the little white bit on the right hand side of the bottle was a bit too white, but
Nah.
I gave up that stage. I said it's
No,
going in as it is.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. Refining your. Now this is not the shot that you just turned in, right?
No, this is just the general kind of setup. I had the lights behind the blackboard and coming in a bit between the two black cards at the back. And then I just tried to squish water. I had a big problem trying to just keep the thing steady. I'm having trouble with just sticking things together and and not making sure that they didn't move and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Well,
I'm having that sort of problems.
yeah. If you're hitting a little thing like this with a cup of water, it's probably going to move.
Yeah.
On the other hand, that could be kind of cool if you could freeze the motion, right? Freeze it being knocked over, but with continuous lights, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So
Good job. Good job, Patricia. Keep at it.
It was a bit challenging, but anyway.
Well, that's one thing we like to do. The one thing we like to do is challenge you. Absolutely.
John, before you move on,
Yes.
you just made a statement. You can't, what do you mean about continuous lighting? You can't stop, you can't freeze it?
It's not powerful. Unless you have very, very powerful continuous lights. Most, like the little LEDs, like these little panels that I use for my face here.
Oh, I had the Peter Hurley Flex Kit, which is like 4 panels.
Yeah, I think that's brighter. And in this close, you might be able to do that. But remember, well, let me ask you this: what camera do you have?
I have a Canon 6D.
Okay, so you have a Canon 6D. So the highest shutter speed we have on those is 1/4000, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 1/4000. Maybe it's 1/2000. I don't know. Can somebody Google that really quick? Because what I'm going to show you is if you could shoot it at, you need depth of field for a splash shot, right? Veronica?
Pardon?
We need depth of field. We can't shoot
Yeah.
it at 2.8. So we're
Right.
going to be at f16 already. So shut all the way down. To get a 4/1000th of a second to freeze that water, or a 2/1000th of a second would probably freeze the water. We have to have a lot of light to get f16 at 1/2000, right? That's not even sunlight. Direct sunlight is f16 with ISO 100. Let's all agree. ISO 100. F16 at 1/100th of a second, right? That's full sunlight. That's the f16 rule. F16 at 1 over your ISO for shutter speed. So if we're going to go to 2000, that's let's see, 1 to 200, 1 to 400, 800, 1600. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stops to get up there. So we're going from ISO 100 to 200 to 400 to 800. So ISO 800, f16. If you can get your light panels in pretty close, yeah, you could do it with continuous light.
Okay, because I only have one strobe and I have one flash.
So what is your strobe?
It's an Einstein.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The Einstein's perfect. They're real short durations.
But only one will suffice. I don't need more.
No, you can do it with one shot, one light. You just, using bounce cards and shiny boards. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll fool around with that then.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm a real big believer, Veronica, in one light.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be fine.
Yeah, I only own one flash and everything I've made is with one.
With which one do you have?
SB 800 Speedlight.
Yeah. Speedlights are faster than strobes because they're not near as powerful, and remember that Einstein has one, not a transformer. What's it called? The thing that fires?
Trigger.
Capacitor.
Capacitor. It has one capacitor that it uses, and it's a big capacitor because it has to be able to give you 600 watt seconds, but it's such an advanced capacitor that it can go down and give you 6 watt seconds. That's the range of a Einstein, 6 watt seconds to 600 watt seconds in 1/10 intervals, which I measured on my Minolta, and I was shocked out of my mind that it actually came down 1/10 of a stop. It was amazing. That light, which sells for, what's Einstein? They're going about $650 now.
Maybe less, maybe less. I don't know. The chart.
I don't recall.
Figure that they would be 2 1/3 time more expensive if they were at a camera store, because camera stores mark their stuff up 100 to 125%. So you're getting a $600 light with no camera store markup. It's really about a $1,200 light. So they're fantastic. Everybody should have one Einstein, just for the fact that you can put it in a giant softbox and get 10 watt seconds of light out of it. A little poof of light that you can't even see. But
$389 on Amazon.
how much?
$389.
For an Einstein. Wow.
Einstein E640, which is what I had.
Yeah. Awesome price. Awesome light.
Also, did you see in the notes that the shutter speed is 1/4000? Read that from your first question at the beginning of my. Okay.
Is it? Did someone find?
Yeah, it's in the notes. It's in
Oh,
chat.
it's in your notes?
It's in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Oh, okay. So it is 1/4,000th of a second. That's, can you imagine how remarkable that is to get a mirror up out of the way and down in a 4,000th of a second? Wow. That's why.
Well, the good thing, I only have to set up one light instead of several.
Oh yeah, you should be able to do this one light. Absolutely.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Dean.
Yeah, man. Yep. G'day, Don.
Hi. So it looks like we're shooting it's in liquid.
Actually not. It's as you see the before shot there, it's a garden sprinkler from behind. So I wanted a vortex style action.
Garlics. Oh, I'm not seeing the behind the scenes. Is it in here?
Keep going backwards, one more backwards, Don.
Okay.
It's the one with the green one next to it. That's it.
This one. Okay. Got it.
I had a garden sprinkler in behind it, which I'd taken out by that time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. A lot of water then, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Made a feral mess.
And your lighting is all from the back, I take it?
Yep. Yeah. Just one speed light.
Okay. And nothing in front.
No, nothing in front.
Yeah, it's the label looks dead. The bubbles, the bottle shape, all of that is killer, but the label looks dead because there's no light reflecting. There's nothing for this to reflect light on. Let me show you how we doing on time. Oh, we're doing fine on time. We got all kinds of time. Let me show you a trick here. Get over here. Let me show you a trick. Let me find out. Dean, do you have Nick?
No, I don't actually have Nick. No.
Okay. I'm gonna show you using Nick. And when I bought the Nick filters, I bought it specifically for this particular one. It's called Vivesa. I got to share Photoshop with you. Photoshop. And let's take it down. There we go. So I bought it for this particular tool, Vivesa. I'm going to go in here and touch that. You can see down here in this corner where I'm looking for. So I'm looking for that label color there. I click on that, and I'm going to take the circle down a little bit because those are the only colors I want to affect. I'm going to bring it up a little bit brighter, just like that. Take this down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to hold my Option key down, and I'm going to drag this thing down to there. I'm going to say, okay. I call it my digital fill light. Look at that. See the difference?
Yes. Yeah.
It just feels like the label's alive now. And it's on a new layer here. So if I had done it too much, I could always just lower the opacity of the label of this, this layer. So I'm not here. I don't make any commission off Nick. Wish I did, but I don't. It's just a really great little piece of software. Really is, guys. What was your exposure on this? Do you remember?
No, I can't remember the exposure. I was using a speed light at 128, so it's pretty fast.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, sir. Arnold.
Hi, Don. Hi, everyone. Yeah, well, I was pursuing actually a different concept originally. And that original concept is in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Yeah, I was pursuing that and I wanted a wall because, well, the originally thing is, for the last assignment, I did the light field and I did the dark field, and I didn't want to do either one.
Okay.
So I pursued a different avenue. So when my first concept was not working, Yanis said, "Well, why don't you do anything related to sports? So like tennis, basketball, whatever." And this is the concept I came up with because I did not want to do light field. So this is basically water. I dunked into a tennis racket, it floated the bottle, and I dropped the tennis ball on it because I wanted an indirect splash. Right? I didn't want to do a bottle standing up and then just splashing it to the sides
Sure.
because I have done that before. So I wanted to do something different, and this is what I came up with.
Very interesting. How deep is this water? Arnold? Are you there?
Arnold.
Arnold?
He's muted. Maybe he doesn't know he's muted.
Hello.
How deep is this water?
That's about 10, 12 inches. It's a
Okay.
closed basin. But I mean, the clothes you store it in, it has a cover on it.
Right.
That's what I did. I put a plastic bag on it, filled it with water. It took about 3 pails of water to fill it up.
Uh-huh. How
So
did
I
you
can,
tennis ball to look like it's so deep?
because that's the delay on the trigger. That's about a 3 millisecond delay. If I had no delay, it would actually be still on the surface of it. And the problem with that is it takes away from the image. It takes away from the bottle, right? Because you're going to focus on the tennis ball. So I changed the timing so that it would be immersed already, but not totally immersed, just a little below the surface and still have the splash around it. So yeah, I really wanted the indirect splash, and this is what worked the best. It took about for the final shot, it took about 3 shots. For the test, it took about 9 because I was testing it with a cork bottle. I was dropping down the cork bottle to
Right.
get the precisely where I need to drop the tennis ball.
Nice. Yeah, I love this tennis ball down in the water like that.
Thanks.
It's very clever. Really clever, man.
Thank you.
Don and Rick here. Question for Arnold. When you talk about the millisecond delay, are you using something like a Pluto trigger then to?
Yes, I did use a Pluto trigger for this. The laser mode is what I used.
Okay.
Because I had to do a lot of testing. That's why it took me 9 tries to get the timing correctly, the delay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Nice job,
Thanks.
Arnold. You always come through with some good shots. Carla.
Hi, Don.
Hi. Spice Island Gin. Is this from your gin collection?
Yeah, it's one of them, yeah.
You want to quickly share with everybody what you're doing? It's very cool.
So I've approached a whole bunch of distilleries, craft distilleries in South Africa, and to ask them, and I'm going to shoot their to give me a cocktail, and then I'm going to shoot their cocktail with their gin, and then make a book with all the at least 20 distilleries with 20 cocktails inspired by each one.
So it's both a book project and a way to get her. She's getting the gin people to send her the gin to be in the book. So not only is she coming up with a neat book project, but she also is getting to meet the people who make the gin. So it's a sort of a sneaky backdoor into getting some introductions to people with gin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done. So tell us about this shot. Is there a behind the scenes shot, Carol?
It is behind the scenes. I did
Okay.
quite a detailed one because it's 3 shots. It's actually 4 shots because I shot the bottle clean as well.
Okay.
But each splash is its own shot. But originally I didn't want to have ice in the glass, but that in the top left-hand corner, I could not get rid of. I don't know what that is. I moved the glass, I moved my camera, I moved lights. I put bright cloths everywhere in my studio to see what was causing that like triangle, that level there.
Mm-hmm.
It was there. I couldn't get rid of it.
Was it,
So
was it any kind of reflection from the, did you try shooting the glass without the bottle? Was it a reflection of
Yes,
the bottle?
I did. And I shot just 2 glasses together, and I even swapped it for a different martini glass. I thought maybe the glass was doing something, and the same thing. If I swapped it for a completely different shaped glass, it was fine. So it's definitely got something to do with the shape of the martini glass. But it was just so fascinating because whatever I changed, the line hardly changed. If I moved it right up high, it still was that same distance from the top of the glass. Even when I changed camera angle and height and everything, I don't know. It's just bizarre. I still haven't figured it out.
Could it be the surface, the edge of the surface?
I tried covering that with a black, with completely black. I tried covering it with completely white, and I still got it.
Huh. Well, that's a mystery right there. That's a mystery.
Yeah.
So you stuck ice in it then to get rid
I
of
don't
it.
think the white went all the way to the end of that glass tank, but the black didn't. So maybe it could be that. I'll have to try without that there.
Okay, and so the ice is then there to hide that anomaly.
So then I added ice because it was late and I couldn't mess around anymore.
Nice.
Can I make a comment on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that black thing is from your black tile.
No, I took the black tile away and I put a white tile. I put a mirror there. Did everything.
Okay.
Very clever.
How do you get the water coming on the right in that
In the glass.
funnel? Yeah,
In the glass or on the bottle?
on the bottle.
That was I just threw the water. I just threw the water from a little cup at the bottle.
So it didn't spread out until it hit the bottle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was just chance. I tried using a squirty bottle as well, but that didn't work as well. So the throws worked better.
It's a lot of cleaning.
That wasn't too bad. That's why I had that like glass tank catching everything.
Very nice.
It's a great shot and it's a great set. You can really see the professionalism here. Nicely done, Carla.
Thanks.
Nicely done. Botanical Water from Jason Mayer.
Hey, Don, before you go on, may I ask Carla one more question?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by your book project. I know it's not directly related to the splash, but that's an awful great idea. Do you include text in the book that describes the drinks, or?
Are you feeling okay?
Yes. So I've asked them to give me either information about the distillery or the gin that they've supplied. And then that's going to go on one double page will be with the picture, full page. And then on the other side, it's going to be a little bit of info about either the gin or the distillery whatever they want to put,
Oh, so they offer you that, could be the history, et cetera, et
Yes.
cetera.
whatever they,
Brilliant, brilliant. Well done.
cool.
Maybe favorite gin drinks could be in there too. But it's great. We got Greg is doing the same thing with beer folks in what do you call people make beer? Crafts beer or whatever?
Craft breweries.
Brewers.
Breweries, yeah. He's doing the same thing with breweries in Kansas City. He's gonna do the book. He's gonna do the book anyway, whether he has to buy the beer or not, but he wants the buy-in now. He's having a bit of a time of it getting people on board. I think we found a way to take the half dozen that have committed, getting them shot, and then using that as a way to get the people who haven't committed on board. But every time you try to do something here, people think you're trying to scam them. And there's no scam involved in this. There's none at all. Carla's printing the book. She's doing it anyway, that type of thing. And, getting their support just helps them. Maybe down the line, she'll get picked up for a job or something. But, I can guarantee you that many of the gin distilleries around where Carla is do not have photography anywhere like this. Am I correctly saying that, Carla, without being mean?
Some of them, yeah. This one in particular hasn't. Some of them do, but yeah, most of them not.
I have a question. Carla, fabulous idea. I'm in Napa. I mean, we are wine country here, so that makes me think, that's a high probability to do something like that. Did you do this via email, via phone? How did you contact them?
So I set up like an information page on my website. It's unlinked. If you want me to send you the link, you can just send me your email address and I'll send it to you. And then I wrote a personalized email I did a bit of research and I found out who the contact person was, or if there wasn't an actual person, if it was just a contact email, then I used that and I actually mentioned their gin and said, I would like to use your gin for my project. And then just told them a little bit about it in the email and then put a link to the page on my website saying, here, you can find out more. And yeah, I've got 15 so far that have committed. And I've already got about 8 or 9 sitting.
I will email you.
Sorry?
I will contact you. I'd like to be able to talk about this a little more. Thank you so much. Fabulous idea.
And what you want to do, since it's California wine country, it's huge, and it's also been done a lot. So go for layer 2 hook.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It was like everybody does. Everybody knows Napa. Everybody knows all the wines and stuff.
But no one, I don't know if anyone's ever done anything on women-owned vineyards.
Oh.
Or
that's what you were saying. Just get a hook of some kind.
Get hook number 2. One is the vineyards. Number 2 is this next layer. Maybe minority-owned vineyards. Maybe vineyards that specialize in seeds that were brought from Europe. There's a lot of California grapes, but there's some vintners over there who are using actually French grapes, that are planted in California type thing. So look for that second level.
Maybe immigrants who started their wineries.
Well, wine is such a interesting business because you've got to be in business for 15 years before you can start making money. If you start a brand new, you got those grapes have to grow for like 10, 15 years before you can start harvesting them.
Right.
So, or, bottling them, then there's another couple of years in bottling and stuff. So it's a very, very interesting business. Try to find that second hook, Veronica.
Okay, great. Thank you, Don and Carla. I appreciate it.
You bet. Jason.
Hi, Don.
A beer company sells sparkling water. There's no alcohol in it?
0.
Wow. I I was at the store and they're selling these sparkling waters and in these big cans. Like, oh, these are really cool. I saw, and they were real cheap. They were like $1. So I bought like 10 of them, brought them home to stuff them. They're all alcoholic. They're alcohol water.
Well, not up here in Canada. It's water.
Yeah, they're good, but you know, you take a swig of it, it's water. It's just basically seltzer water with booze in it. It's like, what is this? This is a nice shot. I like the real nice little gradient you've got here, Jason. I like this little edge that you put down because you've got it against a bright background. Nice, good highlight here all the way through. It's a very pale can, but yet we can read pretty much everything in it. Now, looks like there's water hitting it this way. Looks like that's a water drop expanding out. So you're going to have to tell us what you did.
Well, I think like everybody else, I took maybe more than 1,000 shots over the last week.
Oh my God.
And I was throwing water at it in all sorts of different directions. This is but one shot though.
Okay.
So I didn't composite anything. I did do some cleanup in Photoshop and maybe kind of sloppy around the edges because my scrim in the back there was getting soaked. But as it turns out, it's the very smallest piece of water in a wide mouth cup and lots of patience and yeah, timing.
So if you didn't learn anything else, you learned 1,000 ways to throw water at a can.
Yeah. But
which, you know, could come
there's
in
a philosophy in this. There's a zen to this, right? Like if you walk the path 1,000 times, I don't know.
Yeah. You know, whether it's a useful skill or not, we don't know, but it's still a skill. We have a behind the scenes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So a speed light and a softbox, speed light and behind the scrim, and a fill card.
Yep. And I had a blue gel on the flash in the back there and the speed light. Yeah, I tried, as we were talking about the studio strobes, I tried with the strobe, Godox SK400.
Yeah, no.
And no, just not fast enough.
Not the SK. You'd have to go to the AD400 might be fast enough, but not the SKs.
And then the whole idea of one slow flash brings all your flashes down kind of thing. Like it's the lowest common denominator that governs your sharpness.
Yep.
It was frustrating. But so yeah, I went to 2 speed lights and it was great.
Where do you get the tray? Did you make that or did you buy that? The plastic tray that caught the water.
No, up here it's seeding time. So that's like the clear top of the tray that you'd put your your little tiny your seeds in. So it's just a really flimsy. In fact, every time I picked it up, I spilt water all over the place and me.
Nice. It's a really delicate shot, delicate color. Your blue gel with this stuff, this little bit of blue down here really brings out the green up in this. I think it's a great shot, Jason.
Thank you.
Good for you, man.
Thanks.
Mildred. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Did you drop this whole thing down into the water, Mildred?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my God. Wait. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't unmute myself. No. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No. Not the whole thing into the water. That's actually sitting on a transparent acrylic piece. But what happened was that the little bowl was gonna flip over. So that's kind of what's giving it that effect. The water's dropped on the acrylic piece.
Oh, you caught the bowl flipping.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, that's what happened. Yeah, and it's just one shot. Yeah, there's nothing composited there because I was having a good time just trying to get the lemon into the bowl.
Well, it looks great. Looks really great. It's just an interesting shot with this flipping back there. You see what I was saying? It looked like the whole thing was in the water, and then you
Uh-huh.
drop the lemon in it, and that's really cool. What's your lighting like?
I put it, I put a behind the scenes in there. I actually, no, that's not mine. I've actually just got two strip boxes on each side.
Mm-hmm.
There it is on the bottom.
Here?
Yep.
All right. And you did 2 shots, right?
I did because I had the beige bowl, and I thought, and I'm real spontaneous like that, and I thought, well, let me see what it looks like with a black bowl. And I like this splash the best, but what was happening on some of my before shots, I had the bowl better than this. I had it actually black, but I don't know. I was moving my lights and stuff. And then this one, like I said, I like the splash better in it, but I was really wishing that the bowl just stayed black, but it looks like the light is reflecting in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun. I mean, like I said, I was moving my lights and stuff, but I wanted the colors. I liked the black and the yellow and the white. I thought that was kind of cool.
I think it looks cool. Nice, Mildred. Nice.
Thanks.
Interesting idea. Asha.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Asha. Wow. Whoa. What is happening here?
Well, I've got a glass behind and I threw the water on the glass.
Ah. Now, is there a light behind the glass? We have a behind the scenes
Yes.
for this.
Yes, it's just before that.
Oh, okay. Just before. Let's go back. Okay. All right. So this is the
I've got-
glass you're throwing the water on, and that's your scrim and you're lighting through.
That's a whiteboard, and I'm throwing the light on it from the back. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh,
So there's a
okay.
flashlight
you're,
there.
You're
Yeah.
lighting it, yeah, because it's not transparent. All right.
and then I have got the 2 flash in front.
Because the bottle looks great, nicely lit all the way. A little bit of a highlight going down right here. Nice highlights. We see the bottle. We see the bottle. And then you got this great splash behind it. Cool. Now this might be a great opportunity for shooting did you shoot the bottle without any splash?
I did. I have.
Okay. I would take the bottle without the splash, just the bottle, put it behind this, and then down here on the logo, right? Get rid of this, get rid of the water on the logo.
Okay.
Maybe down just in this little area here, just minimize it a little bit. We don't usually want to put water over the logo. The rest of it though does look pretty normal. Look, that's what it would look like if it was being splashed. If you've ever seen some of these, sometimes clients have no sense to them. Last year when we did this class, or 2 years when we did this class, we found an ad online. It was for a body wash, and the bottle had water splashing everywhere, but there wasn't a single drop of water on the body wash. You know that was the client going, no, I don't want anything on my product, but I want it to be splashing. And it looked totally fake. Absolutely, you kind of go, yawn, Photoshop. This is nice. But yeah, I would just kind of clean up that area right there.
Okay.
Nicely done, Asha. 7D, 1250. And your lights are speed lights, you said?
Yes. I've got I've got these really old studio flashes.
Uh-huh.
So that's what's lighting the front, and at the back is a Canon 430 EX2. That's what's lighting the board at the back.
Got it. Nice. Looks great.
Thank you.
Great idea. EJ did the same thing, brought it in from the top of the water. EJ, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't realize that was for class 5. So
Oh, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Next time I'll make a mess and throw water. And I
This is-
forgot to flip it. I forgot to flip the image, and so I just put it in the comments.
Ah,
I
okay.
like
Let's
it
go over.
better.
We'll go over and look at that one. That's the shot that you wanted.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it required some more cleanup. I didn't have time to do it, and I'm not that good with Photoshop, so it takes me a while to do that stuff.
Yeah, it does need some cleanup in here. Did you have problems with bubbles sticking to the product as well?
I did, but I figured, well, I'll figure that out another time when I try it again.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it nailed. What's your behind the scenes look like?
Let me see. I basically, that's it right there. I used 3 gridded lights, and the 2 on the left were gelled with yellow and orange, and the one on the right had a greenish blue gel to try to bring out some of the detail on that side and kind of give it a highlight.
Well,
it was interesting.
Yeah, that little bit of green coming in here, a little bit of green
Yeah.
coming up there. That's all really cool. That's all, it just gives it punch and texture. Very nice. You just say speed lights? Yeah, speed lights.
No, I was using Lumidines, my old Lumidines.
Oh, okay.
They got a notoriously long flash duration, so
Yeah.
they're not good for splashing stuff.
Well, they're good lights though.
Yeah, they take a beating.
Very cool. Jay Chatskill.
Hi.
Hi, Jay. Tell us about this.
Well, this is actually a flat shot. I did a fragrance in a glass baking tray, and I liked it. And I thought, well, okay, I'll freeze the water with a green food dye, food coloring, and get a green complementary color to the color that the company uses for its print.
Right.
And that created a challenge. And then these are mint leaves that are running around the outside because it's farm grown mint. But it was the challenge is that if you're using something flat, you have to drop the water from the top or through the side, and it just didn't work real well. At least I wasn't satisfied with what I got. So I went and I got some brushes, which also, there's lots of brushes that you can use for splash. So these are actually brushes that I used and brought together a couple different ones and put them on. So it's a composite of, the tray itself that was extended a bit.
Sure.
And then the splashes and for the blurs, for the brushes, and then the leaves. So it's the 3 of them brought together. So it's I don't think I would use a flat surface for splash shots in the future, but it was my, is what I did this time.
It's clean.
Yep.
That's your behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bet you had water running everywhere.
It was a little messy. But it was, I did that outside. I took it outside and did the splash stuff outside and do it inside. But there's a light coming up from the bottom of the plexiglass top, which also gave it, some additional color, change in coloration, which I like that. So I was able to do that. But the splash was elusive.
Nice. Okay. Mildred's behind the scene. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. And that's it. So we scared people away, I guess, with last week's. You enjoying it?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That was
Good.
fun.
It is wonderful.
Thanks.
Good.
Listen.
Really interesting work people do.
I do not remember what the next week's is, but it's very cool.
Don?
Yeah.
Splashing from behind?
I think it's
Yeah.
splashing from behind, might be.
Yeah.
Don, this is Catherine. I put something in. Did it get reviewed in the couple minutes I was trying to get
When did you put it in, Catherine?
last night? Friday.
Did you put it in the Saturday or the Tuesday?
I thought I put it in the Saturday.
No, I can refresh the page, but I don't think we passed any. I don't think we passed any, Catherine. Here's
Okay.
the top of the page. Do you see your shot?
No, because I came in early on, so I'll have to check Tuesday and see if it's in there. I thought it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I learned a lot sitting here.
Good. If it's not there,
If it's not there, I'll
get
resubmit
it up
it.
to the Tuesday and remind me, and we'll take you first. Okay.
Okay, will do.
Yeah. That way you don't have to sit through everything else, but we'll certainly take you first.
Okay,
All right.
all
Cool.
right. Thanks.
All right. So we have a little bit of time. Any questions about this or anything else that we're doing here?
No, it is a challenge.
Since I am going to use my Epstein now, should I use the smaller softbox? I think it's like 3 foot versus my 6 foot softbox? Or is it dependent on what I want to get out of it?
Yeah. Depends on the size of the object. The size of the light source versus the size of the object. The bigger the light source, the softer the lighting. So a lot of people go, well, if you use a softbox, the light's soft. Not necessarily. If you've got a 2 foot square, 2 foot by 2 foot softbox, and you've got it 16 feet away, it's not a softbox anymore. It's going to be just about as hard a light as a flashlight practically. But a 2 foot square softbox, 16 inches over a piece of jewelry is super soft because it's so much bigger than the jewelry. So it just matters. You have to visualize in your head. You see deeper, sharper type shadows. You see edgy shadows. You see super soft shadows. Whatever it is that you want to get, then you just adjust your light for that. Does that make sense?
I think once I apply it and I start to actually see it, it will make more sense.
Yeah. Well, the best way to do it, do you have a small or medium softbox?
Just oh God, what is it? It's the kind that go on your flash. I have what's it called? Oh, I forgot the brand name.
Westcott?
No, it's like the kind that go on your flash and it has these little softbox on your flash on your camera. But for the other kind, it's like 3 foot is my smallest.
Okay. So take that, that 3 foot and take a one subject, one thing, maybe a little vase with flowers in it. And take that 3 foot, it's a box or it's a umbrella or what is it?
It's a box. Yeah, it's a box.
Okay. Take that 3 foot box and put it like as far away as you can get it, right?
Okay.
And then keep moving it forward about a foot at a time. And keep a record of which image is that box until you get it up till just out of camera.
Okay.
And then look back at those pictures and you'll see how the light changes dramatically as you bring it from back far to up close.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, those kinds of tests are something that we should all do. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I ask something, Don?
Yeah, please.
Is there any class for portraits is coming up or no?
Yeah, it's going to be, our next one's going to be portraits.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Yep.
When does that start?
2 weeks after this one's over.
Like we need people portraits?
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that's what, 8 or 9 weeks from now shouldn't be a problem getting people.
Are we allowed to post photos from what I do in studio, for instance, or just photo from simple people? How it works?
I don't understand the question.
Are we allowed? I work mostly for portraits in my studio.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
fashion.
I don't put rules on it like that. I never put rules on it.
Ah, okay. I thought
We're
that
doing.
we are allowed just to photographing people, simple everyday people. That's why I asked.
No.
Okay.
We will be doing one on environmental portraiture, which is going to be a lot of teaching of light. How do you use light out when you're outside, not just natural light. Natural light's great, but how do you use artificial light with your natural light? And we're going to be doing one that's based on fashion photographers, how they approached portraiture. So we're going to do a couple of portraits.
Okay, that's great.
All right. All right, folks. Well, everybody have a great rest of your day.
Hey, Don,
Yeah.
it's Rick. I got one more thing. It's kind of I think you brought up bark in one of, it might have been a Friday talk. I wasn't there, but I caught it on a YouTube replay, I think. As it turns out, it was interesting because I've just gotten engaged with, I'm trying that platform, right? Lead generation. And the jury's still out a little bit, but the leads are coming in, and I'd say I've responded to about 8. And I would think right now, based on the notes I got this morning, I got 3, maybe 4 jobs out of that.
Okay, well, that's good. I know Greg is trying to do it in Kansas City. He's not had much luck with it. Bark is you are going to have to experiment with bark. You're going to have to blow through some money on bark before you start to figure it out. Never respond to a headshot request ever, especially one that wants like 3 or 4 tokens for a headshot request, because anybody looking for a headshot photographer that has to go to bark has no clue what headshot photography is or what it's worth. With me?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. There's some other,
they think it's going to cost them $10.
Yeah, that's the learnings I've made already. You got to be selective because there are some very good clients there, some good legitimate work, and then there's some people just kicking the tires. And the problem then is you to make the initial contact to find out you're spending tokens, right? Which is the way the system works. And it's quite disappointing. There's some bad leads in there, if you will.
yeah, stay with a, what's the word I'm looking for? Stay with a clientele that you identify there. Look at the words they use. Do they sound professional, or do they sound like they don't know what they're doing? There's, words you can read something that looks that come from a marketing manager, or something that come from Aunt Sally, who's looking to get pictures of her flowers in the front yard. You could tell by the words, and then only bid on the jobs that your portfolio will knock them dead. Okay, so if it's outside maybe you're a food shooter, and a job comes in, you go, oh, those are corporate headshots, I could do those. Screw it. Somebody who does corporate headshots is going to get that job, not your food shots aren't going to do it. So stay within those parameters. And I don't know if Carla is still here. Carla uses bark down in South Africa.
Yeah, I use it. I almost all my work comes from bark, but there is a lot that just don't even respond. So now I'm very picky about who I reply to.
Yeah.
And you can see part of the email address before you reply. And if it's a Gmail address or a Yahoo address, I don't even respond, because the 95% of the time those end up being nothing.
There you go.
Are you saying bark, B-A-R-K?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bark.com.
Okay.
Well, I've shared my email with Carla on her book idea. So Carla, we might have to discuss our experiences with bark as well.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you, Don.
You bet. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great week, making some shots. I will make it live momentarily. The next assignment will go up live momentarily, and I'll get the albums in by the end of the weekend. So everyone have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Have a good
Thanks,
one,
Don.
everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
Don.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Bye.
Great day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Good weekend.